This might actually be it. This might actually be it. We're pumping. I can feel it. And I know it's been boy who cried wolf many times, but something's different about this one. I'm not even getting the dopamine hit. It means my dopamine receptors are officially fried. So I guess that's just what the market was waiting for. It was waiting for me to lose every single sensational feeling of what it means to be mildly excited about something. That's what it was waiting for. PulseChain, these are the past 90-day results, right? These are 90 days, right? 45%. Obviously, PDI's up 500%. PWBTC 200%. But this is child's play. Okay, we got a long, long way to go. Ethereum now, the difference is Ethereum now is knocking on the door of $4,000. And this is the sixth-time resistance zone. So now it's occasion number 7. HEX is also a top gainer, baby dolls. HEX top gainer here, plus 88%. You see all these other poopy coins and stuff out here. So we're starting to make the rounds. I got plenty more coming your way, right? We have this 4,000 IQ alien is about to pump our bags in August. There he is. Makes you think, right? Because I always think about, hey, how does everyone get trapped? Because everybody's bullish. We have to unlock higher prices. Well, where's the trap, right? I know there's a trap somewhere, but I know like it's not nice to really think about that because you're like always turbo schizo paranoid, but you have to think like that because you got to. That's how markets work, man. It's capital allocation, right? Yeah, like it's new people enter, and then they're paying the long-term holders, right? And there's a transfer, so the new people are entering now, and if they want to get paid, they got to hold 4 or 5 years. You just have to be careful because you don't want to be caught with all those new people the whole time. Now, don't psych yourself out because we have a long way to go, right? For example, here is the total crypto market cap. I hope we go to 10 trillion, but it is possible we pit stop around here. Maybe there's some psyops and stuff out here and we end up skitzing out. Remember, there's a lot of these concurrent themes and stories and all this other rubbish going out here. And every time I'm mildly bearish, I just think about this inspirational video of these $10,000 XRP target boys.
You really think XRP could hit $10,000?
XRP definitely could hit $10,000. BlackRock is about to buy $9 trillion worth of XRP.
God bless you, bro. You know what? Who am I to say no? Who am I to judge you?
Saying Soulface, what do you think, bro?
Oh yeah, definitely 1,000%. XRP is about to hit $10,000, especially because of them going after the Swift banking system.
Okay, Gabe.
I love you, boys. By the way, Swift chose Chainlink, just to let you know. Okay, continue.
What do you think, bro?
Without a doubt, XRP to 10 bands, and the reason is XRP has intrinsic value. Bitcoin doesn't.
Okay, Mark, what do you think?
XRP.
That's the army, brother. That's the OG army. Okay? Straight face, friends. I told you, bro. It's a believer's cycle, man. It's a believer's cycle, friends. How many times I told you this? It's a Moggers cycle. It's a believer's cycle. Told you. See? So it is this. Glory, glory, glory. Look at that glory. Ah, beautiful. So you're gonna see some side of humans you didn't know was possible. Forget everything you know about drugs and humans and everything out here, but this you've never seen anything like this. Okay, like I'd never seen anything like this. I didn't even know it was possible for a crowd to get high without any like chemicals. Okay, this is a different type of high. Okay, this crowd mania. I mean, economists and historians, they write stuff about this. It baffles them because they're like, what the hell is going on with these creatures, humans? And I don't know, man. Look, it's a green candle, bro. There's something about speculating on the future that gets us high. Yeah, and when you work, you earn units. You store your value in a unit of a currency or whatever. And then when you allocate it somewhere, the thought of like speculating that keeps growing, it sends you into just this turbo rainbow, dreamlike state where you're just pinging off your tits. And you don't, this is why it's wild, friends. Like, a crowd, in crypto, we've seen they stay high for like 90 days. Yeah. And the build up is like, you'll see what I mean. Okay, most of you don't know what I mean because you came in while you were high in 2021. You're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's just, like, you never thought, hey, this thing I called a scam, I bridged in from traditional fiat system, and now I thought I could come and get rich and make money. But you only started thinking like that after the prices started going down. But you never thought about the magic that could get you in, right? So this is, I'm telling you, this is, it's either going to go one of two ways, friends. Either we're all working McDonald's drive-through, or we're all going to have to go into hiding. I mean, you see my UFO videos, friends. Like, the amount of matrix dodging, Lego piece puzzle connecting, code word slapping I've had to do, it's wild. And there's bullets flying here left and right. I literally, I can't even show certain stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to go into hyper explosive mode. Okay, if this thing does continue. I want to show you this as well, friends. PumpFun's daily revenue is actually now below $300,000 per day for the first time since Sep 2024. So, like I told you, friends, it's not about PumpFun or being evil or anything out here, okay? People are here to make money and they're here to get high. They're here to speculate and get high. So, when they lose, they want a new casino. It doesn't matter what your chain does. It doesn't matter what the tech is. It doesn't matter what you claim to do. It doesn't matter there's MEV or not. It hasn't. No one cares. Okay, no one cares. They're here to make money. Okay, but they're here to make money. But the way they act, the crowd. I don't know, it's funny. If you look at their actions, you're like, man, you're not actually here to make money, man. You're here to actually just get high. You just don't know what you're doing. They follow. That's what following emotions is. Do stuff because it makes you feel good, and then do other stuff because it makes you feel bad, right? Which means like exit, sell lows, and buy tops. Once you start to see that, you see that, hey, PumpFun, now the illusion of making money's gone. No one's making money in there, so they've just gone to another casino. Okay, this type of stuff will appear. So that's why the biggest alpha I could give you, friends, while I play some PumpFun music. It's asking the right questions. If I could go back like 4.5 years ago, it wasn't, let's look for the stuff with the most adoption. Let's go look at the stuff making revenue. No, that's not the right question to ask. The right question to ask is, let's look for the stuff I haven't seen before. Because if I haven't seen it, most likely other people haven't seen it. And then you would have found weird shit like HEX. You would have found weird stuff like Olympus DAO. Weird stuff like JPEGs, NFTs. You would have found weird stuff like Shiba Inu, right? By the way, that was revolutionary at the time. Let's just make a coin for the sake of like just doing nothing. No one had done that back in 2020. Okay, that's why Shiba Inu did that 1 million X. You're like, oh, this is just a coin. What does it do? Go, I don't know. We're just here to just celebrate existing. Yeah, now there's like 50,000 memes. Everyone does that, right? Actually, more than that, yeah? So, I know I say it to you all the time, but I've never seen anything like this before, man. Okay? It went to zero twice. I've never seen anything like this before. I'm asking you nicely as well. If you find something you've never seen before, send it my way, man. Send it my way. Come in my Telegram. Tell us. I want to know. What's something we've never seen before, you know? Actually, ask yourself that. You know how hard it is to find something you've never seen before? You know how really hard it is? Okay. You're like, oh, I've got monkey shit inu. By the way, there is a monkey shit inu. It's literally just monkey shit. Like, oh, no, this one's elephant poop. I'm like, okay. Like, it's just another meme coin. No. It's not elephant poop. This is, let's do, like we're into cats now. Like, no. They're all memes. You know what I mean? Like, memes. There's 100,000 of them. Yeah, we love our memes on Pokemon and everything. But if you can find stuff we haven't seen before, send them my way, man. You'll think long and hard about, what haven't I actually seen before? Okay, if you start asking yourself that question, you get closer to the answer of what you should be kind of thinking about and being allocated towards, right? Now, let's talk about some juicy juice. So, HEX, friends, PHEX is now 1.2 cents. It's actually cranking. It's got a long way to go. Just for everyone out there. So, everyone comes in, they're going to ask, if you're in PulseChain, which coin to get? Firstly, I don't know anything, but I wouldn't play around the ratios. Okay, I just get them all equally and just see what happens, you know? Like some of you, one of you gentle sirs, you're putting in like 6 grand, okay? And like, oh, what do I do if I want to allocate a PulseChain? I don't know, just allocate equally to every core coin. That's just what I do. Okay, don't play around with the ratios because most of the time you'll pick the wrong ratio and then you'll feel like you'll feel bad if you get the ratio wrong and like you have to sit through the pain and everything out here. Okay, so here's PHEX. Hopefully PHEX cranks. If PHEX does 100x, it gets to $1.20. It can go very, very high. Why? I mean, PHEX friends, actually to combine HEX needs to get to 21 cents, and now we're back to November 2022 bear market low. That's how low it actually is. And I showed you that in the HEX BTC ratio. If you see it right here. It's kind of funny. Maybe if I drew it up 500% up here, maybe the real ratio up here. Let me check. Yeah, maybe the ratio is actually moving up higher, but this is the combined HEX BTC ratio, okay? So if you rally up, yeah, you got to rally about, I'm not joking, man, you got to rally like 19x and you're back now to literally FTX collapse ratio, which is around here. What does that mean? Look, this is not financial advice, okay? I don't know what I'm doing, yada, yada. I hope that Richard has helped dump the crap out of this on the way down to get rid of a lot of supply so that it's faster on the way up. That's what I hope. Okay, and that might be met with some kindness and friendship when we look at PLS itself as well. This is the PulseChain PLS price. So this is a log chart, okay? I'm hoping we see similar action to that. That's why I'm making a punt on that. I'm taking the punt that Richard analyzed two situations. He's like, okay, if I get used as exit liquidity along the way, it doesn't look as bad, but I run out of ammo and I just let people who are leaving just dump on me. That's world A. World B is where I dump the crap out of it and I literally do nothing and I let everyone get out until it's literally absolute go time, which he doesn't know when that would be. And then when it's absolute go time, I could just literally pump it literally so vertical and to the moon and get everybody's attention. So that he probably calculated. He's like, well, you know, if I keep getting used as exit liquidity, maybe going to push HEX to 40 cents. Yeah. But if I just do nothing, HEX goes super, super, super low, or that supply gets dumped to the floor, PulseX, HEX, Inc, everything out here, maybe you can send that up $1.20. I'm just guessing what type of world scenario he would have chosen. That's why I'm making the punt. Obviously, to you, it probably seems obvious, but oh yeah, friends, 99% of the crypto industry, they think neither of those worlds are happening. They're like, hey, what about world C, where the guy who used to live on the sandwich shop, he actually runs away with your money and you all got scammed. They've actually given like that as a 99% probability. And they've only given a 1% chance that either world A or world B is actually happening, where it's actually we're going to go up. And I think the market's got it obviously wrong and it's got a price that wrong for the future. That's what obviously you're playing for, right? And it does also help, friends. Tom Lee says Ethereum could go to $60,000. Charlie, very, very naughty gentleman. Look at him, sir. So, this is the road ahead. And remember, you're going to get asked a lot, friends. It's kind of funny, man. Like, a lot of people, yeah, we get like really, really rolled up when people talk about what is actually Altseason. What is it? You know, because something's going up somewhere all the time. But I use others BTC, as I show you, and it's only been one candle in a row. Okay. At some point, though, it might be 4 in a row. You know, and you know, your portfolio might look like absolute ass by that point. Because if you go back to 2021, on the 4th candle in a row, we were still in March. Look at this. See? This was March, friends. So here's January, February, March. Yeah, after the 4th candle, this is like April. Obviously, no one exited in April. Why? Because it just... You're like, what the hell? Like, we've got a lot way to go right now. It's actually the end soon. Okay, so I guess we're making a punt that it's not going to end early soon. And that we hopefully, I really do believe in, friends, in my pointy elbows and my very, very straight posture, we've gotten rid of so many weak hands, man. That's why I do believe if Ethereum can flash up, there's gap here, man. There's literally a gap here. Okay. Obviously, it's outside our control. I don't really know. No one knows. Yeah, but just based off the fact that every single person in crypto wants nothing to do with altcoins next bear market, and they only want to touch Bitcoin in a very family-friendly way, of course, and it's been 4.5 years, I'm just looking at that, and I'm like, man, like, that amount of pain in any market it can only mean one thing, man. The constituents of the personality of the people who are in are like turbo believers. They are like the strongest of strong hands. You don't have a single weak hand left whatsoever. It can only mean we fly high. You know? And you could have made the case for diminishing gains and stuff. But here's the thing, man. We've been like crushed for an extra 8 months. You know? So like it feels like everything is just setting up for we actually repeat the same distance as last cycle. It's just that this one took longer to get there, which I think is a fair price. It's like, hey, you don't diminish, you get the same return, even though there's like more people in and more markup cap, but there is a price you pay. And what was the price you paid? Well, it's like, 14 months in the pooper. And also some secret friendly alpha. What I gotta do is let's play some Cranky G music a bit. Now, I don't know if this is gonna repeat. You don't hold my feet to the flame here. But in 2021, the most critical moment of the cycle, if you're in a fart coin, Richard Fart, the most critical moment was when Fart himself, Lord Fart, when he thought the cycle had topped. Okay, so it didn't matter when it actually did top. It mattered when Lord Fart thought it topped. So HEX, okay, if you look at HEX did its first thrusting into the moon into May, okay? Lord Fart here, he believed the cycle was topped out in April. So this is interesting, right? We retraced when he called the top. Here we go. He called the top. That was Coinbase IPO, okay? Coinbase IPO, he goes tops in. HEX drops 38%. I mean, that's a big amount of money. That's a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like much on a chart. Like, just imagine you have like, you've held this whole way. Let's say your portfolio goes to like 200 grand and then like just does a fast 40% drop. And now you're back down to like 120. And he signaled that he thinks the top's in. You know what I mean? Your heart will be pumping. But what actually happens after that is HEX thrusts up in the final alt season. This is actually Dogecoin mania, friends. So Bitcoin tops out here. So Lord Fart himself says, hey, tops in. Then this is the final alt season, Dogecoin mania. But then this is where the magic happens. And I wish I could give you more confidence because I don't know what the hell is what's got to happen. I have no idea. Okay, I'm just telling you now. The next part is the stuff that makes history because the next part, there's a 57% volatility thing here, but HEX bull flags, goes up, and bull flags again. Friends, during this time, like it was death in crypto, okay? So I just want you to know. So Fart says, hey, tops in right here. And then we go up only. But if you live it every day, there's a lot of volatility. See what I mean? Until we make it to the top. If you want to know the exact move from when Fart calls the top, I mean, this is interesting, right? When Fart calls the top of Bitcoin, HEX runs up 24x. So that's why I wonder if we see something, a bit spicy where in this run up, for example, PDI, if that like runs up by the end of like to some point and then like we're at like 5 cents and then Fart comes out and he signals he thinks the top's in. You know what I mean? Maybe something like that happens. If that repeats HEX, remember HEX does from when Fart thinks the top is in, it does another 20x to the top. I'm wondering if something like that happens. So I know, friends. I wish I knew the future because, like, man, I'm just gonna be honest, man. It's gonna be so tough, man. It's gonna be so tough. Like, you're gonna have every KOL saying get out. Everyone's saying get out, get out, get out, get out, take profit, 4.5 years. Do you want to wait another 4.5 years? It's a believer cycle, bro. I don't have any answers, okay? I don't know the future, so you're gonna have to cover yourself because it's not just the KOLs, friends, because you just like not watch them. You're gonna have like friends and family, maybe a hairdresser, maybe a dog groomer says, "Did you sell? I heard crypto's going down, bro." And they'll tell you that after everything's down 55%, by the way. You see what I mean? So if you took something out, you paid your taxes and stuff, you could at least kind of live with it. You know, so I'm just mentally preparing this for you because most of you actually, you came at the tops of the last cycle. So you didn't have to deal with this anxiety part going up, right? So hopefully we just get to this point where it seems that everything's repeating, but honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, like it's completely outside of my control. It really is. That's why it helps when you look for asymmetric upside because you don't have to hold the whole way. You know what I mean? Like it helps if like, that's why it helps when something's 200x away to $1. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, imagine Bitcoin. Imagine you're buying Bitcoin at 160K. Like you need it to go to 250 at least, right? You can't afford it to stop at 180 and go down. Do you see what I mean? Not asymmetric upside in that one. Okay. So I presented for you the game of what the next part comes next, but you might say, hey, you know, what does it all lead to? Well, you're in the deepest value, deepest cult of crypto. It's priced for dead. They give us a 1% survival rate. I think we're at 99% survival rate. So that's how asymmetric upside, that's how the information asymmetry is huge. Like I said, deepest value, the cult chain, not even listed in any exchanges, the resurrection prophecy, Phoenix rising from the ashes. There's like 50,000 positive narratives that could come. Like the upside potential, remember friends, I'm not a salesman or anything. I'm just telling you like, if this thing even remotely starts to wake up, that's PulseChain, PulseX, HEX, Inc, Peter, all these things, like you got to understand the entire market, what have they been doing? They've been sucking on toes all day from the LA Vapor Bowl, you know? So when they just get just a whiff of a chain that is alive, that they've been told has been dead for 4 years, and you have Richard himself doing something like this. You know what I mean? Like it's basically everyone's going to lose their minds because that's exactly what happened with HEX, right? It's just a bit of a different flavor now, right? Because now this is why the game's a bit difficult. Okay, in 2020, you had Lord Fart saying, we're designed to pump. We have the best code. We have T-shares, delay gratification. We are more efficient than Bitcoin. We give you yield. We have better game theory. You had him basically, he's brainwashing the crowd. He's grooming everyone. He's like training everybody up. That's WarLord Richard saying everybody like, we are better. We will win. Okay. Now we don't have that. Now you've got just Twitter words. Okay. And you've got basically me like a peanut brain nut job saying, well, I want to cheer us up higher, but we kind of went to zero twice. So, do you know what I mean? Like, it's different now. It's more difficult. But I just want you to know, like, it's probably more difficult by design. Because if you want the same upside, the difficulty has to go up. Yeah? Because when you've seen something before, no one sells. Okay? Like Bitcoin. Do they sell Bitcoin down 94% anymore? No. You see? They don't. They sell it down 77%. In the next cycle, they may sell it down like 72%. You get what I mean? So that's what happens, okay? So I know these things, it's multifaceted. We have a long way to climb. And there are a lot of question marks, but I'm preparing you, right? In 2021, that's what happened. So, like, the beginning of the party was Lord Fart appearing and saying tops in. You know, he might make it easy for him. Like, I hope he does a sacrifice at the top, man. Like I said, it's better he raises $1 billion. He locks everyone in our community rather than people give their $1 billion to some other PumpFun clone trash ecosystem. They're just going to dump in the next bear market and everybody abandon. Okay. So fingers crossed, we're all going to make it. It's a believer's cycle. It's a Moggers cycle. Like, subscribe, catch you soon.